In the words of our good friend and lost comrade, Mike Laws, so chilled, relax as per usual. The quote of the season so far. So much happening, guys. There's so much happening on this season. Let's get into it. Sunday night recap. We do this every week. If you have any questions that you want me to get to that I don't get to, please drop them in my DMs. You can do that right after the episode airs. You can let me know your thoughts right afterwards. I'll keep them and we can discuss it on a Sunday. Remember the rules. If you see somebody who's on the show in the comments, please pretend like you don't see them. They're here against my advice. I try and tell them not to tune into any of this nonsense because, you know what, we're only getting 40 odd minutes of an episode and we don't know the full story. And sometimes people have been edited in a certain way. Sometimes we don't get the full story, but at the end of the day, we are getting enough information so that when a person at the end of the episode gets voted out, it all makes sense, right? So there may be, especially now, there are so many castaways still on the beach. We're getting bits of enough of the story to go around, but there's a lot that we're obviously missing. I don't think it might matter to the person watching it going, this doesn't make any sense. So much happened around this. But in the grand scheme of things, the editors, right? So I'm not a TV editor, but I'm a radio editor, right? And so sometimes you have to cut bits out that won't make sense to put them in terms of time. So the storyline may be missing a few things, but if you're going to continue into the game and that certain thing will be explained in a day or two, or as we develop in the storyline, they'll take it out. And the people who are being voted out, so obviously somebody like Mike is going to get a lot of airtime. So we might not be privy to all of the conversations, every little, minutiae of information. We're not going to get it. Does it matter in the long run? Is the story coherent? Are we all making sense? I think so. But as a castaway, you might be looking at it going, there's so much that they missed. And at the end of the day, if you're still around, that will be explained as the episodes go along. I hope that makes sense. So sometimes people will be sitting at home going, why am I being painted, in my case, as an idiot? It's because I was an idiot. So I'm just kidding. I was an idiot. But, sometimes you get a bit sensitive about the edit. But if you're around long enough, whatever information they've missed will make its way to air, hopefully. So really, really interesting episode. We had drop your buffs. So a tribe shuffle. I always wonder if these things happen, if they see a couple of challenges go by and one team kind of is winning. But I know LaRue, so I don't know him well personally, but I know how his brain works in this game. And he has the milestones laid out before they cast. When he's busy on one season, he's busy planning for the next season. So this tribe shuffle would have been in his brain from inception. So it's interesting that it happened so early. I'm glad that they stayed with 2 tribes. 3 tribes for me in the previous season was too many storylines to keep up with. So I'm happy that they kept it like that. Anybody want to make any comments? Go right ahead. So the new tribes, and I'm going to read this because there's still so many people. Zamba is now majority with former Vuna members and the vice versa. So Zamba is now Chappies, Warda, Sean, Amy, Santoni, Carla, Mike, Paul, and Anela. So Zamba is now majority, former Vuna members. So the Vuna members are there. And then, where's my other tribe? Let me look on my thing. Here we go. So Zamba, Chappies, Warda, Sean, Amy, Santuli, Carla. Sorry, at Vuna, it's Tyson, Anesu, Kieran, Marisha, Nicole, Kian, Toriso, Rainier, and Dino. So obviously a massive shakeup for alliances. Some people are fine, cool, no problem. We've got the majority. The problem when it happens, and somebody like Mike, and this is how I was thinking, and again, something that I realized, and I've told you this before, and I realized it on the island, was that common sense is something that makes sense to you. It's subjective. So the common sense that I thought we had, oh, we'll keep the tribe strong, oh, we'll keep numbers majority, not everybody thinks like that. So somebody like Mike is going, well, why would you then leave your alliance and go towards another set of people? So in Mike's brain, this is how he rationalizes. You are on the bottom of the alliance in the tribe currently, but you're still part of this massive majority in the tribe. You can either stay within this and try and build your way up in this majority alliance, or you can go into this alliance and also be on the bottom with people you don't know or trust. And as somebody made a comment, they said something like, who are you going to trust? People that you slept with for 24 hours or people that you slept with for 7 days now? And that's a tricky place to be in because you don't know. Either way, I think with enough time, you have enough opportunity to build up relationships in either side. So it's literally a personal preference. Do you take it so personally, Paul and Chappies, that the other group of your tribe voted out somebody without telling you? Do you take that so personally that you're willing to turn your back on them and go elsewhere and trust people who you don't know? That's a brave thing to do. Is it smart? Only time will tell. I think that things are so fluid in this game that things are going to be changing often. People are looking for moments. People are looking for opportunities. They're looking for cracks in the alliance. And obviously the main way to tell that is when you come back from tribal council and somebody wasn't in on the vote, and in this case Chappie and Paul. I find it interesting, and I don't know if you watch, but Pinty's response to being voted out was that was Paul and Chappie's doing, and she had not very nice words to say about the two of them. You know, I'm okay with everybody except I will never speak again to Paul or Chappie's. And the two of them were so on the out, they had no idea what was happening. So I find it very interesting, the response. And I wonder what it was like for Pinty to watch the episode, having had that impression for so long. And as I mentioned, there's so much challenges in the game, but when you leave it and watch it on TV, it's a completely new ball game. So it's tough. So that is the tribe split. It's going to be interesting to see. I think Carla had just verbal diarrhea. And in the game of Survivor, we've heard it many times that information is power. And you could just see Mike, who clearly has like just the most control over his emotions and what he says. He's very thoughtful before he opens his mouth. Carla is very thoughtful, but in this moment, she was just so emotional that she just let the information flow. And it was interesting to watch Mike physically like, oh, Carla, please stop talking, Carla. And watching that play out was hectic. And there's nothing you can do to stop it in the moment, because you can't just stop it, Carla. You're giving too much information, because you can't go back from that either. So very interesting next couple of days. I don't know when we're going to merge. Somebody had a theory that at 15 we'll merge. That's hectic. That is so hectic. We merged, I think, at like 11. So that's pretty early on. That's a massive jury. That is a lot of management if it is that if it is that early. So, but as we know with Survivor South Africa, literally anything is possible. LaRue likes to keep it fresh and likes to switch things up. So at this point, you kind of just, and this is how I thought about the game, is you just making it day by day. I'm just going to make it till the next day, the next day, the next day. And it's so interesting because the game gets so hectic that you have these ideas to quit. And almost always when the thought first occurs to you and it sits with you and it permeates with you and you've had a horrible day and your closest ally gets voted out and you're going to a new beach that isn't waterproof, that doesn't have the stuff that you have. And the thoughts of quitting are so overwhelming that you think, oh, I'm gonna walk out the game. The game's too hard. Rabbit, I'm talking. Sorry. But I always, my rationale was that I'm just going to stay one more day. I'm just going to stay one more day. Because the game twists and turns so much that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. That you know, if Pinty had been able to make it another day, would she have been able to find tribe mates that worked with her, that she would have been solid with? It's that kind of thing, you know. She didn't choose to go. Obviously, she was voted out. But it's that on a knife edge that anything can happen tomorrow. They can tell you at 15, you're merging. And all your previous gameplay kind of goes out the window. So it's a hectic place to be in when your ally has been voted out. So Carla's in a bad place at the moment. She also seems to be on the bottom of her tribe. So can she claw back? Like where does Carla go to from here? Who does she turn to? Does she try and go and try and move somebody else over? Or does she trash everything and move and try and start something new? It's going to be super interesting to see where Carla goes to from here. It's, I don't know, to be honest. Santoni is playing an interesting game. She is moving between a lot of different people. I know Paul and Chappie's had a conversation about bringing her in, and then Paul said, yeah, but she can't keep quiet, which, you know, when you're watching it at home, you're just like, oh, wow, why can I not keep quiet? But in the game of Survivor, actually, it's pretty cool because, it sounds so weird, it's good because people want to take you further into the game because they know at some point you're going to put your foot in it and you're going to do something wrong or say something wrong. But it always keeps the game fresh and people actually want to work with you because you're giving them information, whether you are conscious of it or not. So Santoni is around. There's a lot to be said about sharing a clue to a hidden immunity idol. I've never had one that I needed to keep a secret. Would I have been able to keep it a secret? You know, maybe if it were 2021 and I was at work and I took a sick leave day when I wasn't sick. Can I keep secret? 100%. But this is Survivor. The stuff permeates in your brain so badly that you want to like shout it to the rooftops. It is, I don't understand why we feel the need to share so much information, just like blurt it out. But keeping a secret in Survivor is so hard. I think Hilgard asked this question. When I asked for questions before we started here, he said, what's my view on idols? A blessing or a curse? So when you have it, when you find it, you're like, yes, this can save my game. This is it. Half the time, apologies. Rabbit, is this necessary? Say hello to the people. Hello. Now you can go. Bye. Half the time, idols don't get played correctly. So they end up just being a way. And I guess that this is also part of it, right? An idol becomes like a chess move. I might not play it, but you know that I have it. So there's power in the knowledge that somebody has an idol, or that there is an idol, that you don't know who has it, but all of a sudden you're splitting votes and you're thinking about the possibility of what happens if we vote here and an idol gets played. So there's so much that happens around the knowledge that there is an idol. When you know that somebody has an idol, it actually creates more problems for you, because you go from being inconspicuous, just playing the game like everybody else, to all of a sudden your name being on the top of the list. All of a sudden people are like, geez, did you hear Jean's got an idol? Jean's got an idol. How's she going to play it? What's she going to do? All of a sudden, if you weren't being spoken about, you are now. And it puts a target on your back. I mean, if you look at the previous season, Jacques could have gone under the radar had he not had so much drama around idols, and he was fake idling this and promising to play it and just scraping through. But at the end of the day, if you keep losing and you keep going to tribal council, your idol can't save you, because you can only use it once. But personally, I don't love a game that has loads of idols, because it takes away, for me, the essence of the strategic part of Survivor. I think it plays again to that luck thing. Did you find a clue? Did you get a clue and get it at tribal council or at a challenge? Did somebody share a clue with you and you find the idol? There's so many permeations from it. So I just think that sometimes the game can become too unpredictable for the viewers. That's great. That's so great. We love an unpredictable game. I do not enjoy a steam train just going to the end and the biggest threat wins the game. That for me, it's enjoyable for the person who is that person, just to go smoothly and smash the game. But as a viewer, I kind of like an underdog. I kind of like a twist and a turn, and the lead kind of changing throughout the game. And yes, idols do that. If I were a player and you've got this sound alliance, you have got the best allies, you are locked up the mafia boss, and there are just so many idols in play, I think it is a luck game. It comes down to so many variables that I don't think anybody actually can deal with the strategy involved in keeping idle play and normal play in the same place. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's where I am. I love idols. I love idols in the game, but I do not enjoy if I were in the game and there were so many. I don't know. And then also, like, you get idol kings and queens who just find them, and so they have so many that they're like, oh, I think I'll play this one today. I'll play this one today. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. And Immunity Island again. Hey. Let's quickly talk about the challenges before we get into Immunity Island. The challenge, that reward challenge, let me tell you, hold on, turn. Just hold on 2 seconds to turn that off. I think that challenge, that wrestling challenge, oh my, that would have taken it out of a person for days. That was intense. I always thought if I did a wrestling challenge, I would do well, just because a person's energy to move my mass would have been a lot. But I thought some of the people, I think for me, the MVP of that episode was Nicole. She did well against Carla. Won't lie. So that challenge, that wrestling challenge, I don't know in real time how long that took, but some of those battles must have been 5-6 minutes each. Just the nature of that competition and the bag being so heavy, the amount of energy it must have taken for that wrestling challenge, I think hands, the people who won, congratulations. And I mean, the one tribe walked away with chairs, the top. I think they've got the cushions as well. It's like Holiday Inn. fantastic. And then the immunity challenge. That immunity challenge was also energy, high energy, right? So not a puzzle at the end, but definitely a strategic, somebody's going to be a hero kind of thing. You swim, you climb, you collect, you swim again, and then once you've got all your rings, you throw, and it's I don't even know, it's a fun fair kind of game. And one tribe had one less ring to go and get. Excuse me, I'm not using the names of the tribes because now I'm confused about who's who. One tribe had one less ring to go and get, but obviously didn't have one less ring to throw onto the challenge, onto the end goal. I thought that it became very tight in the end, and actually Kieran, for me, stepped up big time in that challenge and managed to take it for his team. So really, really good, strong showing from both tribes in that immunity challenge. And then almost my favorite part of this episode, besides, Mike Laws saying, so chilled, relax, as per usual at Tribal Council. That's my favorite moment. But my favorite strategic moment in this game was Rainier saying like, hey, do you think sending Amy to Tribal Council will be like sending their weakest player? Will that weaken the tribe? Now, if you were watching last week's episode, there's this secret alliance between Amy and Rainier that nobody knew about. I don't know if the tribe knows about it, but we as viewers didn't know about it until that moment, until they walked off into the greenery and started discussing strategy. If I ever got to play this game again, my ultimate goal would be to have a mole, to have this secret alliance that nobody knows about. It obviously will never happen because I'm Jean and I can't keep a secret. But I would love to have like this secret alliance with somebody who people would never think that I would align with. And that's exactly what Rainier and Amy have. And so Rainier, being split from his little undercover alliance, still has her back enough to go, hey guys, do you think that sending Amy will weaken the tribe? And they go with it. So his undercover alliance gets sent to Immunity Island, where he knows, A, that she won't be voted out that day, that she will have an opportunity for an advantage in the game, or to find a hidden immunity idol, which in his brain, if they merge, benefits him as well. She goes to Immunity Island, super complicated. Ugh. I don't know how anyway, let me see if I've got this right. She gets the challenge. She's got to do a simple looking puzzle. In theory, it looks simple, but we don't know the time. I'm assuming like 2 or 3 minutes to do that puzzle in real time. And if you win it, you get to pillage you get to take 3 things from the other tribe. If you lose, they will come and take your stuff, I think. But guys, who knows? It's so complicated. We've had 3 visits now to Immunity Idol and 1 win. That win came with the immunity necklace, and I can't even remember what other advantage Santoni had that day. But then she also got a clue to a hidden immunity idol, which is on both teams. And that's where this whisperings at the wrestling challenge came in. Where Paul and Tyson were on a tribe together. Now they've just shuffled. Santoni whispers to Paul, hey, there's immunity. I love Paul. He's so authentic in his responses. His first response is like, why are you only telling me now? Why didn't you tell me before? Calm down. Calm down. So he then is going to go in with Tyson, and during the wrestling match is going to whisper in but still try and win the wrestling match. And as somebody said, they asked me a question, any reason why you think Paul's whispering to Tyson didn't raise many flags except with Dino? I think any flag is raised with Dino at any time. I think Dino is just ready for drama at any moment. So he is out here being like, da 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 da, Inspector Gadget, da 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 da. He's out here for the information, guys. I think it's so interesting that it did seem like people were like, oh, they're talking, they're whispering to each other, but nobody really seemed to care, because then you would have to assume that you know the information that he's passing on. Maybe he's just, admitting his undying love and his buddy's gone and who's he going to bond with, Anyway, Amy's commenting here in the comment section. Welcome, Amy. Marius made a comment here. Did I finish my train of thought? Anyway, I think that the whispering, some people noticed, some people didn't. Maybe we only saw some edit of people noticing. But what I found interesting was that when Tyson gets back to the camp, he goes exactly where Santoni was, her feet were, where she went to look, and literally moves a few things, and there's the package, which he then proceeds to put into his package. Tyson, for me, is a dark horse, guys. Tyson is in a very, very good position. He is physical in a way that isn't like, hey, look at me, I'm physical. He seems to be aligned with a lot of people, and now he's sitting with this idol. Anyway, Tyson for me is somebody to watch. Mario says, regarding secrets, do you think it's because you feel alone and need some advice, or to share with an alliance to feel better? Why is keeping secrets difficult? I don't know, but there's certainly this, you need a bit of validation, right? So in Survivor, finding an idol, getting a clue is like, I did that, and so you're kind of looking for a bit of validation. And it's so strange because you legitimately think that you're trusting these people. You legitimately, so Santoni in that moment is legitimately thinking that Chappies has her best interests in mind, that he wouldn't schnei her because it's in his best interest to keep her and her best interest to keep him, and to be in this symbiotic relationship. It's a weird thing. I can't explain it to you, but it's real. And so when you have this big secret, it's just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, look at Tyson. Tyson gets the immunity idol, and he immediately tells, I think, Anesu. And Anesu's like, keep it in your package. Nobody can see it. I don't know. I've never had to keep that kind of secret on Survivor. But I 100% know I would struggle. I can't keep my mouth shut. I will share my dirty laundry with you right now. We're not even in Survivor. I don't know why. I just have no filter. Let me go through some of the comments. Do not want to be her next week when they come and raid the camp, Lord. And Amy responds, I also don't want to be me next week when they come and raid the camp. I noticed in the throw forward, because I just watched it again, that Amy lies about what's going to happen. She says that at Immunity Island, she got a hint that the other tribe is allowed to come and take 3 items from them. So, I mean, I don't know why you would also lie about something so simple like that. Why would you choose to create more things to keep track of in that moment when you could be like, hey guys, did a challenge, lost it, they get to raid our camp? I don't know. But again, your brain literally doesn't work proper when you're in Survivor. That's literally the answer to everything. Your brain, your emotions, your physical being doesn't work the same way as it does when you've had a nice coffee and breakfast and a good old sleep. I don't know what it is. Kieran says, also don't want to be her next week when we go to camp and raid it. You. Taryn, Amy, oh, that was my worst moment this week. I kept screaming, don't do it. Guys, we have a lot of fun when we view this this season. Okay, there's just lots of talking that's going on in the comment section. I'm not taking it the wrong way. Right, what else did I put here? Not much. Guys, Tribal Council was the body corporate. Had it happened? Is Mike a property lawyer? Because his body corporate, I think, needs a bit of work. I mean, he does sound lawyerly, doesn't he? And not like in a sharky kind of way, just like I'm going to speak to you and my words are all going to make this narrative sound like the right thing to do. The right thing. So, Sean? What is that? The Sean? No, not that Sean. Is it that Sean? Can't see. Sean the raid. So Amy lost the challenge at Immunity Island. If you won it, you got to do something good. If you lose it, something bad happens. Not like you're going to lose a limb. Not that kind of bad, but something bad to your game, something bad to your tribe, something bad to sit out. You don't have a vote. You have a vote against you. Something dodgy is going to happen. Is that Sean? Hey, Sean, do you watch the show? Anyway, did you? Anyway, so she now gets to go and raid the camp. No, just kidding. She lost. So other people get to come, I think, take 3 things. But after that, Holiday Inn, top, blanket, cushion, chair situation. Oh my God. I don't know. If you just won a top, let me tell ya. You do not want to part with that thing. You do not want to lose your top. Sean is a troll again. Sean and I have been going backwards and forwards because I heard that Sean is an actual decent human, and Sean keeps trying to convince me that he isn't. Let me tell you the quick story. And I heard this via a grapevine, via. So I'm not going to reveal my sources. Anyway, I heard from 2 different sources that Sean, when it was pissing down with rain and they had very little shelter, Sean got up in the middle of the night. To chop down more leaves and lay them on the top so that people could try and get some cover from the rain. Did it work? Probably not, because you're in torrential rain and on the Wild Coast. So, but that's what I heard. And then I also heard, what was the other story that I heard? I heard this is gentleman. Yes, Sean. Like a true gentleman. I mean, we'll see. We don't get to see all this drama, do we? There was another story. Oh, when they were building the shelter, and Jason, the architect said, or engineer said, he asked Jason, how many poles do you need? And Jason said, I need 21 poles. And Sean went off and cut down 21 poles. And he came back with 21 poles. I mean, come on. Anyway, Sean, you can be a villain. I'm not buying it. You're just too funny to be a villain, but you're there. And I see in the preview for next week, you are going to go through the most. Guys, did you see that preview? I told you before that this season, we are going to have the elements play a massive role. The rain, there's creatures and critters. Let me tell you, the thing that killed me the most on the Philippines, and I've mentioned this before, I still have scars on my leg from the bites that you just literally can't stop scratching. It wasn't the mosquitoes. It was the flippin' sand lice. You are constantly, just covered in sand, or just always. You would try and keep clean. You would get warm water from the pot and rinse your hair. Listen. You are never clean. The sand in your scalp, I don't know how it gets there and why it stays there, but it's there. And the sand lice were the things that were nasty. I don't know what's happening here in the Wild Coast. But it's not called the Wild Coast for nothing. These motherfuckers are going to go through the most. Anyway, so I'm super interested to see what is in store. What is in store next week. But it does not look... Hello, my brother. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all the fathers. Have I missed anything? Tribe advantage, which gave considerable head start in the game, blah, blah, blah. Corporate meeting. Body corporate. Shame, Mike Laws. He tried, didn't he? We had the edit kind of made us believe that maybe he had won a few people over. There was a moment that Carla said, I'm just going to keep quiet. I'm just going to keep quiet and hopefully not rock the boat. And then at Tribal Council, man, she just... But you know what? I don't know if there's many... Okay, there are a lot of times when your mind gets made up about a vote at Tribal Council. Not a lot of times, I will tell you that much. So does somebody going off the deep end railroad the vote? I don't think it happens very often. However, Tribal Council also, you know, I was talking about how your brain doesn't work, you can't keep secrets. Logical things don't make sense or they don't work logically in Survivor. Now, Tribal Council has some other kind of voodoo to it. You walk in thinking, I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to share any secrets because nope. Nico asks you a damn question, which sometimes he asks, you know, a few people the same question, and your filter, it's just gone. Now you're blurting out information and you have to, I don't know, guys. I wish that they could do a scan of somebody's brain when they go into the game and a scan of the brain when they come out of the game, because there's so much happening that I don't know if you're not in control, but you're in Tribal Council, you are 100% sure you're not going to blurt information that doesn't need to be said. You're going to tactfully talk about somebody who you want people to think you're going to vote for and then vote for somebody else. It's a very difficult position to be in. So Tribal Council, but I don't. So if I go in and I start blurting information, sometimes it's not going to change the vote. But when you walk out, does it change people's perception? Does it change the way your alliance looks at you? Does it change your position in an alliance? Like, oh, can't keep Jean around, she spreads too much information. There's lots that goes on. Yeah, Sean says no sleep, no food, no filter. It's 100% accurate, and it happens quickly. There's something that happens when you step foot on that island and you start to operate very differently to then what you would do in normal life. And I say this, and it's like the mantra for me. So doing Survivor is hard, but watching yourself on TV is also hard. And it's because that is one of the number one reasons why it's hard, is because you would never normally do these things in real life. You have a handle on your, saying stuff and not fighting, or, avoiding conflict if that's your vibe, or chasing conflict if that's your vibe. But to watch yourself do these things on TV, it's a really different minefield. And I try and explain it this way. There was a moment on my season where Annalise and Tony went off to an island together. And it was kind of like they were going to Exile Island kind of thing. And in one of my confessionals, they said, what's the worst thing that can happen? And me being Jean with no filter and always making a joke, I said, well, the worst thing that can happen is Annalise stabs Tony in the face. Making a total joke, like 100% would never think that would happen. However, when I watched myself say that, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck are you doing? Sorry for swearing. Teresa watches this with her children. I was like, edit, what are you doing? Why would you say that? It's because in real life, if my brother says something bad about me, he's Sinek over there, if he said something bad about me to his wife, I will never hear about it. But on Survivor, you say something to somebody behind their back, you be a bit shady or bitchy, and then that person watches it on TV and you watch yourself do it. It's horrific. And you watch yourself struggle with decisions that are so basic in real life, and you watch yourself go through this turmoil of not knowing which side and who to trust. But you're watching the show and you can see that that person doesn't have your best interest, that person, in fact, nobody has your best interest. And that's the struggle that you go through, and it sits with you for many years after the show. It's not a comfortable position to be in. I always say that watching yourself on TV is one thing, but reality TV, most of it is real. And so you are being yourself, but it's this, you're seeing yourself stripped down to like the bare bones of who you are. So it's a very weird position to be in, to watch yourself do that. So I have the utmost respect and tolerance for the people who play this game, because it's a strange place to be in. And if you see them freaking out on Twitter or Instagram, or getting into battles with people who've never played the game, on social media, I always want to tell people to stay off of social media, which is rich because a lot of them are watching these. And I try and give perspective in these recaps of what it likes to be in that moment. For instance, there was a moment with Teresa and Mauricia and Nicole and somebody else. Can't remember. And they were chowing their carrots, which is good for them and their vision and vitamin C or something. And there was like this awkward moment. I didn't really pay attention to it. But then I thought about it and I wondered to myself, is this important? And oftentimes, a moment in Survivor, we obsess about it in these podcasts, in these recaps. We like, what could have been going on? Who would have done what? What is the animosity? And sometimes it's just a moment. Maybe we didn't get the full story. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe there's underlying tension in a tribe where people are cliquey and you're not a part of it. Maybe they've never spoken to one another. Maybe it was just confidence. So you're going to attack me, but hold on. Excuse me. Who do you think you are? No. And it seemed to happen and then move on. I didn't pay any attention to it, but I think quite a few people did. And for me, it came across as Teresa is a very strong and confident woman. And if you're going to speak to her as a child or try and manipulate her to her face, she's going to give back. So for me, that didn't really make any impact for me when I was watching the episode. So we don't know what happened, if that caused more drama. Because remember, we're only just getting teeny tiny little moments in full 24 hours of a day. So, right, let's just quickly go back. Heal God says, that's the beauty of Survivor. Pushes you to the edge of doing things you wouldn't ordinarily do. Great TV, though. It is great TV, but it does stick with you for a long time. Jean, not team everyone today. We need your top 4 before you leave. Top 4? Okay, I chose a 5 with Jacques and Dante a while back, but it wasn't like, oh, these are my top 4. It was like, you choose one, you choose one, you choose one. And we 4 of us chose 5 people. So we had moments where the person we wanted to choose was already chosen. I'll tell you who I think are... I can't pick a top 4. I'm terrible at this. But I dig Carla. I dig her energy. She seems so together and so in a good position. We'll see what happens with her. Can she keep her mouth? I don't know. Is it going to harm her game? Not sure. Tyson, for me, 100%. He is in a fantastic position. I don't want to pick Rainier because he's like a favorite. Guys, you know how I feel about underdog, right? Santoni for me is great TV. I don't know. Top 4. Teresa, Tyson, Amy, because she's tight with Rainier, I think she may flip on the Rainier and get rid of Rainier. I don't think the big players, Dino, Rainier, go deep into the game. That's my somebody like Mauritius as well, I think is also going to have a problem because she's so physical. I think that when people start getting close to the merge, they're going to see like, no, you must go. You're going to be too strong. So I think that those kind of players are going to have a problem. Kieran, Tyson, Teresa. Can I choose 5? Amy, Carla. Those are mine. It's hard. It's real hard. There's some really, really strong players. I'm really enjoying Anele and Paul. I think Paul is kind of this wild card that you don't quite know what he's going to do. Paul is the only one in the game who's not a super fan. So he is playing emotions, right? He's like, you didn't tell me what's going on. I don't want to hear from you. You're naughty. You're in the naughty corner. And you know what? I think he's going to get into the game because I think people are going to want to work with him because he's so authentic. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Who do you think hasn't shown all the cards yet? I think we haven't seen much from Kian. I don't actually know. It was her and like Sean in the first episode, but we didn't see much. We haven't seen much more from it. So I'm interested to see where she is, who they're aligned with now. Where did she actually land up now? Okay, at Vuna, it's Tyson, Anisu, Kieran, Marisha, Nicole, Kian, Teresa, Rainier, and Dino. Guys, powerhouse to watch out for. Teresa and Rainier. If they pair up and they bring Kieran, and Tyson. If Tyson and Teresa and Rainier team up, I'm telling you, watch this space. But I think in my soul, I think we're gonna see the strong survivor boffins, the fans, the students of the game. I think that they're going to have a hard time. I think people are going to gun for them. As soon as they start showing like strategic minds, strategic plays, I don't know. For me, I think the women in this series are in very strong positions. I don't know why. I think that there is definitely something happening there. So Kieran was there this week. She just had a very slow and quiet edit. For me, those players, I feel, probably go a bit deeper into the game, and we'll get a couple more episodes of them once we have less players, right? So we have so many people on the show at the moment that they each only get little bits of TV time, which makes me think that unless you see so much TV of one person, they're probably gonna, like, so say for instance I'm the one who's going home, I will get an episode probably where you'll see a lot of me, because maybe you haven't heard from me and you don't know who I am or what game I'm playing or what alliance I'm in, and then you're gonna get to know me and then I'm gonna be gone. I don't know, that's just my theory. But I'm very invested in this season. I'm very entertained. I love the challenges. The Wild Coast is playing a supreme role. Michael says, hot take, women are going to dominate this season. I think you are very correct. There are some strong women. You look at Anesu, Warda, they've got ties. They have Tyson in there as well. But we've got Amy, we've got Nicole. For me, is also sort of starting to rise. I didn't think that she was very around in the first couple episodes. Guys, drop your questions. We've got about 9 minutes or so left. If you have any questions, there's a button on the bottom there that you can pop your questions. It'll let me know. We can get through them. Otherwise, just drop them in the comments here. That's the easy way. But I do think that the women are in good positions. Let's talk quickly about Future Life. Not sponsored. But that challenge, man, where they won some Future Life, I'm not a massive fan of that kind of, I'm not a massive fan of breakfast at all. So, but in that position, when you're getting something that you can literally mix with water that tastes different, I think it would have been a lovely, a lovely reward. Plus those power bars, literally, it's like protein covered in chocolate. In that moment, I think there were about 7 days in. That would have been delicious. Something that I was craving when I was on the show was just to bite into something like a hot dog, a boerewors roll, a chocolate, a sandwich. We eating stodgy, nasty rice. There was no salt for a long time. It was the same temperature. It's triggering. I don't think I ate rice for probably a year afterwards. I remember coming right off the show and somebody said to me, hey, we should meet up. Let's go for sushi. And I was like, I don't need your negativity in my life. Get away from me. Fish and rice. You don't know that I was on Survivor and why I've lost 12 kilos, but I still don't want to fucking eat fish and rice. I'm sorry for swearing, Teresa. But yeah, that was a really cool reward challenge. And Anele shoving 2 of those bars in his face and chewing them before everybody else came back. I mean, come on. Okay, Larousse asking me, what am I expecting from the raid next week? I am expecting fireworks. Because you all want to take my comfort away. You know, something as simple as we got... I hate making this about me and my season, but the only way I can explain it to you is through personal experience. We got simple reed mats that we laid over the bamboo. Guys, you're sleeping on bamboo. We called it bamboo-pedic. It is, there's nothing that is comfortable about it. Nothing. You can only lie in one position for about 15 minutes before it goes numb and you need to move. So that means interrupted sleep. You're never fully sleeping. We got a simple reed mat in one of our reward challenges. And that simple reed mat made a massive difference in our sleeping. We were like, oh my God. Now you're going to take away pillows, blankets, chairs. Listen, guys, sitting on something is it's a thing. They've got tarps. Now, to be honest with you, I can't keep track of who's who. Right, let me just look at my notes. So, Amy went. So, Amy is now with Chappies, Warda, Sean, Santoni, Carla, Mike, Paul, and Anele. So, I can't remember who won the top. But anyway, if you lose your top in that rain, it's going to be a complete disaster. I think her lying about it is going to be very interesting. So I will be very interested to see what they take. I mean, they would only really... Would they take their food? Ooh, I don't know now. Do you think there will be another shuffle? Ooh, guys, I can barely keep track of who's who and where they are now. But for the game, it keeps the game fresh. But as a player, I would hate it. Hate it. Yeah, the boss is here. LB, why are you asking us? Rather tell us. No, we need to watch that episode. Laura says, do you think the raid will take place while the others are at tribals or when they're at camp? No, girl. Imagine this, right? You're a producer and you get to choose if you can have the people there when they're being raided or not. What is going to be better TV? You're going to come and take my blankets? No, bitch. No, bitch. No. So, I mean, if you're walking into a tribe that's been ransacked, that'll also be dramatic, but I think it'll be way more dramatic if they do it while the people are there. There'll be some like negotiations. You can take that, but please don't take that. I don't know. It's going to be drama. Is Amy's lie about the raid bad? It's not bad, but lying in Survivor is another thing you need to keep track of. When a person lies, they overshare. They use more words than is needed. So lying is not bad per se. It's just something that you need to keep track of. And it has to be like a simple lie, because the more complicated it is, the more see-through it is. So to say, I don't understand why you would lie either. So for me, I'm going to go to Immunity Island. I'm probably going to do a challenge there or not. Maybe they don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're not allowed to discuss it. But something bad or good might happen. So to come back and say, hey guys, I did a challenge, I lost it, this is the ramifications. Why would you not just say that? Why would you need to come up with a lie unless you have to? I don't know. Terrence says they will steal chairs, future life, and pillows. I don't think that future life is going to be around for too long. Zamba does not have the top. Ooh, child. LB, you think we can cancel the raid? Do it. Was shocked to see the initial Vuna tribe sleeping on the ground, Survivor 101 off the ground. Yeah, you can only be off the ground if your shelter can do it. Does the little logos of the previous tribes help you keep track of who's... I did notice that, but oftentimes, and that's why I try and watch it again, but I'm studying at the moment, so I don't often get to do it twice. It is good for me to see who, but the problem is you have to know which one was green and which one was orange off the top of your head. But I did notice it, and it is good for when they are doing their confessionals, just to remind you that they have switched tribes. But it also, in the moment, also doesn't really make it, because I'm like, wait, which one was the green, which one was the yellow? So it's all... But I'm not very good with details, LaRue. You should know that. Excellent editing with the previous tribes. It does help. Yes, people who are not me and have better brains than a goldfish think it is helpful. So I think we're going to have at some point, the way things are going, ones that tell us how many idols they have. Do you remember that in the previous season? They were like, oh, Jacques has an idol and a fake idol. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. Any last comments? We've probably got a couple of minutes left. Otherwise, thank you guys all for tuning in. Happy anniversary for last week, LaRue. I know you weren't here. You had better things to do, and that's 100% fine. What else? Be kind to all the people. Killen, you joined a bit late. It's fine. I will post it. It will be on my YouTube as well. Guys, please can you do me a favor? If you regularly tune in here to watch, please can you just go and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Without many subscribers, I don't really have anything to do on that channel. So if you wouldn't mind just giving me a like or a follow on the... Also, if you're here and you don't follow me on Instagram, shame on you. Shame on you. Get the free content for free. All you have to do is like it. Follow me. I'm sorry about the swearing, Teresa, if you get here. To last week, she dropped me a DM saying, Jean, I'm watching this with my 6-year-old. Thanks for all the swearing. My bad. I work in the media and we swear a lot. I'm sorry. My mom hates it too, if that helps. Please be safe. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Have a great week. If you watch the episode on Thursday and something occurs to you, please drop me a DM at the time and we can discuss it in the episode. I do watch it at the same time as everybody, so I'm not like, I can, but I don't. I enjoy watching with everybody. LaRue says, love the swearing. You didn't on the season because I had to edit a lot of bleeps out. Guys, here's a quick story. I used to say cuck a lot on my season. I don't think of that as a swear word, but it is. And I remember saying it a lot during my confessionals. And one day the producers came to me and they said, Jean, please will you just say another word for it? like trash, horrible. Hi, Auntie Mo. That's my friend's mom. We besties. Woohoo! They asked me just to say a whole bunch of words that they could perhaps edit into when I kept swearing. Anyway, love you guys. Stay safe. Have a good week. We will chat again on Thursday. If you like these things, please share them with people. please repost them on your page. All 16 of you, thank you very much for being here. I bid you farewell. And Rabbit also says goodbye.